The U.S. Department of Agriculture is announcing $145 million in funding for 700 loan and grant awards through the Rural Energy for America program, or REAP, to help agricultural producers and rural small business owners make energy efficiency improvements and renewable energy investments to reduce energy costs, generate new income, and strengthen the resiliency of their operations. Energy technologies eligible for the loan and grant awards include wind, renewable biomass, ocean, geothermal, green hydrogen, solar, and hydropower. What exactly is a hydropower project? Elise DeGeorge, a researcher at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory in Golden, Colorado, explains.
To name a few more common expressions of hydropower, we have conventional hydropower, which are those large dams throughout the country. There's also run-of-river hydropower projects that essentially take water from upstream and funnel it to downstream locations and without extensive damming of the river. There's also in-conduit hydropower where you can capture the energy of water that are in pipes and canals. Another very common form of hydropower is pumped storage hydropower, which is essentially a big water battery that allows you to pump up water to an upper reservoir and release it when needed down to a lower reservoir. We believe that there's a lot of opportunities in the agricultural environment with smaller hydropower, such as the run-of-river option and also the in-conduit option that I mentioned.
She says hydropower is a place-based clean energy solution.
You'll need to have adequate head, which is essentially a way for potential energy to be converted into kinetic energy due to a change in elevation. And then you also need to have a sustainable flow rate as well. So really, you're looking for locations that fit this sweet spot. There are two different types of hydropower that could be used in an agricultural environment, and those two are hydroelectric, and there's also hydromechanical. So hydroelectric is when you are harnessing that energy in the water, and then you're taking it to an electrical grid. It could be a microgrid, a localized grid, or the broader grid that services larger areas. There's also hydromechanical, where you're not necessarily taking that energy and using it to feed into an electrical grid, but rather using it to power your sprinkler system on site.
DeGeorge talks about tips for applicants drafting a proposal for a hydropower energy system.
You'll need to be able to prove that you have a resource that is sustainable. So really sharing site conditions, geological conditions, the flow rates at different times of year, and even proving that that's a resource that will be available consistently in years to come. You'll also need to share what type of system or type of turbine system that you would want to apply. And there's lots of different choices for low head, high flow applications or high head and low flow applications. Sharing some pump curves and working with local pump and turbine suppliers to collect that information will go a long way to demonstrating that you understand what is needed at your particular location.
Agricultural producers and rural small business owners who want to learn more about renewable energy concepts can visit the National Renewable Energy Laboratory's Energy Basics page at nrel.gov/research/learning. Anyone interested in applying for USDA's REAP funding is encouraged to contact their local USDA state energy coordinators for more information. Interested applicants can also visit rd.usda.gov, enter Rural Energy for America or REAP in the search box. Reporting for the National Renewable Energy Laboratory, I'm Chad Smith.